There are a lot of things we can do to prevent our kids from using. The most important thing that I've determined that will help our kids grow up healthily so they don't have drug problems is to recognize the fact, to pay attention to the stresses in their lives, to recognize the fact that they may have risk factors, that there may be addiction in their family, they may be suffering psychological disorders, have learning disabilities, have suffered loss in their family, the kinds of things that set kids up to be more likely to become addicted. But there are also really sort of practical things that we can do to help our kids. It's really asking a lot of a child to go to a party. I mean, kids, what do kids want to do when they're 15 years old? They want to be accepted. They want to be perceived as being cool. I mean, so if a kid goes to a party on a Friday night and they're with a bunch of their friends, if it's a party where a lot of kids are getting high, it's kind of asking a lot of the kid to say, no thank you, I don't use drugs. So we want to prepare them for situations like that because there's a good chance they're going to have to be making some decisions. And the way that we do that is first of all, we talk about it. Second of all, we rehearse with them, really literally rehearse. We take roles and practice. How are you going to deal with this if someone hands you a joint or gives you a glass of beer? And we want to prepare them with responses to that. And their responses can be anything from, listen, my parents drug test me, even if we don't. So if I get high, they're going to know, so I can't use. That works. I've heard it work for parents. One thing that kids have used, you talk to your kids about, take a beer, go to the bathroom, empty the beer, fill it up with water, and you can nurse it, and nobody knows you're not drinking. And maybe it sounds stupid, but it works. I've heard from kids who say that they get through their whole high school years and go to the parties. They don't have to stay home and be bored or feel like they're really out of it. And another thing parents can do is work with their kids so that they can always have a way to reach them if they're feeling unsafe. So if your kid is at a party and everything's fine, then great. But if your kid is at a party and they're starting to get nervous, if they're feeling that they're in a situation that may be unsafe, and it could be unsafe because of drugs, but it could be unsafe for many other reasons, have a code word that they either text to you or they say on the phone, whatever the word is. And suddenly you'll know that it's time for you to be the bad guy and for you to say to them, I'm coming to get you, and for them to be able to hang up their phone and say, oh my God, my parents are such assholes or whatever. They want to come get me and make me go because I have to go see my grandmother in the morning. All these things sound kind of, maybe at face value, it sounds kind of stupid, that they wouldn't really help. But there's a lot of experiments that show that these kids are armed. If they're kind of forewarned, is forearmed. And it really helps kids in some situations.